Good morning, everyone. This is Trisha Kubasik, as you all may know. So I am super excited to do this series, this healing and growth series with you and kind of sharing my healing and growth journey that I have been on and sharing some wisdom with you. I felt it on my heart to share this with you all, especially during this time of craziness that is going on in our life, and just an event that we did not see coming and that we did not plan for. So I am just super excited to be here and to share this with you all, and hoping that this can help you in your journey and just help you during this time when your world is kind of shaken up and our routines are shaken up. Shout out to all the parents out there homeschooling, shout out to the teachers trying to figure a new way to teach, praying for everyone out there who is sick or who has a family member who's sick and all that. So through my journey, just to share a little bit of background, kind of when my healing journey started and my growth journey is about 3 years ago is kind of when my healing journey started. I am a wife and I have three. Back then my children were smaller, so I have three small children, working full-time as a nurse, just living life, doing the daily life things. And at that time, some major life events started to happen that at some point in our life, we are going to have these major events that we never fully prepared for. And none of us are immune to pain and suffering in this world. So I was at a point where I was like, something needs to change in my life. I felt like there was just a lot of negative around. I had always been a very positive person, and I just felt like I couldn't keep it all together anymore. And I knew something needed to change the trajectory where I felt like my life was going and how I wanted my life to look. So at that time, my cousin Janet Anderson introduced me to this amazing health and wellness system and support group called Team Lighthouse, and then the nutritional system Isagenix. So I was like, okay, this is my sign. At that point, I decided that I need to do something for myself. I am the only one who can change. I'm the only one who can make it happen. No one else can make it happen for me. I can't keep on blaming other people, why, and all this kind of stuff. So I started using this amazing nutritional system. So for me, in my journey, the biggest thing that started my healing and growth journey was nutrition. Now, at that time, I had no idea that it was going to lead to where I am now. I always knew that nutrition was huge, and I was like, okay, this can really help me feel better and give me more energy. And just because at that time, I felt I was overweight, I felt sluggish, I was tired, I was yelling at my kids, I just wasn't who I wanted to be. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. I don't care how much it costs or what, but I was seeing my cousin transform, and I decided at that moment that I was doing this for me, and no matter what it had to take, I was doing this. So that is where my healing journey started. And so from there, from my healing journey, what I've come to realize of these 4 components that have stuck out in my journey that had helped me to continue and to be successful and to kind of just change my state, which 1 was nutrition, 2, support group and like goals and growth, personal growth, 3, my faith, and 4, body movement. So those are the 4 components through the next 4 weeks that I'm going to be talking about. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the nutrition piece. So I have been amazed that when you fuel your body with the right nutrition, it is amazing how you feel and how your body changes. So for me, I was an athlete in high school. I always liked, working out, all of that kind of stuff, but never really would see changes. At that time, I felt like, well, my diet's not too bad. Now and then I'd get some veggies in and some fruit and stuff like that. So through the nutrition piece is huge. When you fuel your body with the right vitamins and minerals and the right macronutrients and everything that it needs, it is amazing how it functions. And it's so much more than losing weight and all that. It's how you feel, the energy that you gain. So for me, I started using the Isagenix system. It was a simple, easy solution for me because I will admit in the past, I don't know how many of you out there, I would love to hear your stories in, nutrition and stuff too. But in the past, for me, I would try to meal prep and get in more vitamin or get in more veggies and fruit and stuff like that. But it just never really worked out for me. So with the Isagenix system, I started incorporating in 2 superfood, high protein with vitamins and minerals in it, shakes a day. I started taking this Ionix, I like to call it mommy stress juice, that had ashwagandha in it, and it has a adaptogenic herb in it. So it's all natural products. But I started taking that a day, and that's really what I started doing. And at that point, I did not really change a lot in my normal diet besides just getting in those 2 shakes and then drinking that Ionix. I, still had. So also through my journey, what I've learned with nutrition is, through the coaching that I received, is there's no good and there's no bad food. It's just what food is serving you, what food is serving you and your body. Now, if it's cookies and, some high carb pasta and stuff, well, we know that is not serving us because of the high carbs and the high sugar content. But at that time, in the beginning of my journey, I still was eating the pizza. I was still eating, not kind of switching up some of my things to critique it, substituting some things. And I was amazed the energy that I gained after just 5 days of putting 2 shakes and Ionix in my body. That was the first thing that I noticed in my nutritional journey was the energy. I started feeling better. I had more energy to want to work out and want to do other things and, that kind of stuff. And then the more I put it in my body, the more my body started to transform with just doing that. But then through my journey and some coaching, learning about kind of my mentality around food and stuff, which I never really realized that I did have emotional attachments to food. I would eat when I'm happy. I would eat when I'm sad. I would eat when I'm bored. So kind of learning those things, really stopping and thinking about it when you are going for that cookie or those chips or whatever it is. Are you trying to fill a void with food? Because I have done that a lot. And then starting, like I said, once again, is this food serving you or not serving you? I'm really looking at food different, and also really looking at it's a lifestyle. It's not an all or nothing when you start your journey and trying to eat healthier and stuff like that. Because a lot of people will be like, it's an all or nothing thing. If I don't do it to the exact T, how they say I do it, I'm failing. And it's No, no. It is your journey, and it's, yeah, no, it's not an all or nothing thing. Really looking at it different, that it is a lifestyle. And the biggest thing is that in your brain, you took action and that you're thinking, consciously thinking about it. So just learning what food is serving you and not serving you. And you're going to have days where you're like, I know this food is not serving me, but I'm putting it in my mouth. And I will be raw and real with you. Last night, I just ate like 4 breadsticks when I got off of work. And I was like, why did I do that? I was not hungry. I knew it wasn't serving me, and I already wasn't feeling the best. But then also another component through the nutrition piece that I learned is we need to not shame ourselves when we do decide to eat that cookie or eat the breadstick. We just need to give ourselves grace and be like, okay, we ate it. Tomorrow's a new day, and pick up. And that's where it is. It's not an all or nothing thing. It's just a constant learning process. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. Like Janet says, you're on the highway. In our coaching group, we talk about you're on the easy breezy highway. Everything's going good. Your nutrition's good. You feel like the things around you in life are going good. Some days you get off on the side road and maybe you chose to eat that cookie or something like that. And then sometimes you're like way off on the lost dirt roads and you're off. And you might be off for like a week or 2 or even a month. But then it's like, okay, I slowly start to veer back on. And that's where also the support group comes back in, because they're supporting you and be encouraging you and also being with you during that time when you are in that side road, but also helping you get out back on the highway. And that's where it's like an ebb and a flow. You're going to have good times. You're going to have bad times, because it's not perfect. That is one thing I've also learned too, is that nothing is perfect. None of us are perfect. We're imperfect human beings. So those are a few things in nutrition. I started learning a little bit more about like reading nutritional labels and kind of what nutrients to get in more. What I've really realized is protein pacing, getting in high protein foods. It is amazing how much protein your body really needs and how much we are probably lacking in getting in protein. Protein is going to help build muscle. It's going to help repair your body. It's going to help keep you fuller. And so for me and my journey, like for me and my body size, so there is an app called Prise app, Prise. Dr. Paul Arserio, he talks about protein pacing, and kind of you would type in like your body weight and what your goals are if you're just maintaining or want to lose weight, and it will calculate how much protein a day that you need. And so for me, where I'm at, I need about 120 to 130 grams of protein a day. That's a lot. A chicken breast is, I think, maybe 20 grams of protein, 24 grams of protein. 1 egg is only 6 grams of protein. So kind of learning like different foods out there. You got cottage cheese has some protein in it. Hi, Janine. Thank you. And I'm excited that you're here. Cottage cheese has protein in it, Greek yogurt, but all of those are, maybe 12 grams of protein. So kind of learning that. So it's amazing how much protein your body needs a day. And that is why, once again, for me, I loved Isagenix and the superfood shakes I get in, because they have at least 24 grams of protein. They also have some other options that you can get in more protein. So I know at least twice a day I'm getting in, 48 grams of protein. So really learning about getting in protein pacing, getting in quite a bit of protein. Learning kind of about sugars and carbs and reading labels. It's amazing how many carbs and sugars are in things. For me, this is just me telling you what I do. I like to keep the carb content under 20 grams when I'm looking at food, and really looking at the serving, because some labels will deceive you where it's like, oh yeah, it's only 50 calories. And then you look and you're like, oh, that's only in 2 tablespoons when you just ate like 6 tablespoons of it. So really reading your labels, starting to like substitute things. So like for spaghetti, pasta type things, I started using the rice cauliflower to substitute, some of those things to have lower carbs in it. Trying to think of, just really changing your mindset. And it takes time. It takes time and practice to change old habits. Trust me. I still, some of those habits come through. But really just starting to look at those small things that you can change, because in the past, I will say like nutrition seemed very overwhelming and I'm like, how do you do this? But now I'm like, it really is simple. If I'm getting in, like protein's going to be your main thing to get in. So really focus in on protein. All meats, like meats are good in protein, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. Also through Isagenix, I eat these yummy like protein bars that taste like a chocolate brownie. Shakes again are good just because you're getting in the protein. And once again, another thing through my journey that I learned is no, you are not just drinking shakes and not eating food. Now, there might be some other type of programs out there where like it is kind of just that. But once again, that's where it's like, this is the beauty. This is your journey. There's no right or wrong doing it. We do it to accustom to ourselves. So, that's another thing. I started looking at, I'm drinking this shake because I know I'm getting the vitamins and minerals my body needs and the protein it needs. It's not substituting, like in the beginning, it's not substituting a meal where, for me now, yes, the first thing I do when I wake up, I have my Ionix, I drink a shake. Then a couple hours later, that's kind of when I have my breakfast. So then I have some eggs or something like that. And then, a couple hours later, then I'm either drinking another shake or I'm eating a meal. You are still eating a lot of food. That's like another mindset thing too, is actually when you are fueling your body with the right vitamins and minerals and everything that it needs, you really don't need a lot of food. Like I realized like back in the day, I was like, wow, I was probably eating like, 3,000 calories a day because yeah. So it's like your body really doesn't need a lot to fuel off of, because once again, are we eating because we're bored? Are we eating because we just got in a fight with someone and emotionally we're like, I'm going to turn to food to help me through this? So those are just some pointers that I've learned through my journey. I'm just trying to think of other things that could start helping you nutritionally wise. But really, yes, the protein pacing. And you know what? This isn't like, oh, you can't ever eat carbs or you can't ever have sugar. That is, once again, lifestyle, ebb and flow. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else I want to share with you through the nutrition piece. But yes, I started fueling my body correctly, and that is kind of where my healing journey started, is starting to heal my body first, which I had no idea how getting in good nutrition can make you feel. You really don't know until you start doing it. Another mindset change that, I did right away in the beginning was, because it can be hard to start a new routine, and some of us can really self-sabotage ourselves and kind of give up quickly and be like, oh, this isn't working, nope. Because we all want like a quick fix in like, 3 days, we want to drop like 10 pounds or something. But I really changed the mindset too of like, no matter what, I'm putting this in my body. I'm making this a part of my lifestyle. I'm putting this in my body. And yeah, it's amazing how your body will change. So yeah, so I think the big highlights on the nutrition journey is, for me, I started using the Isagenix system, which really in the beginning was just getting into superfood shakes a day and using the Ionics. Yes, through my journey, then I started intermittent fasting, or we call it cleanse days, where we basically give our digestive system a rest. We keep our calories lower, so we through Isagenix and the intermittent fasting that I do, I still drink and get in small amounts of food throughout the day, but I'm keeping it low to keep my body not in digestive mode. So basically what it's doing by intermittent fasting is you're giving your digestive system a break. And it's so when you take in food and all this, your body only uses the nutrients that it needs. Then it gets stored like in your fat cells, because it's like, well, I don't need it right now, so I need to store it somewhere. So also by giving your digestive system a break, you are going to start tapping into those reserves and burning off those reserves. And then with the Cleanse for Life that I use during intermittent fasting, it's just amplifying my natural detoxification system, which is like your kidneys and your liver. So it definitely is not like a poopy cleanse. So once again, that's all like B vitamins and like natural herb stuff that just helps amplify my natural detoxification system. And then basically by having these small amounts of little snacks that you can have, you're keeping your blood sugar stable and stuff like that. And it is amazing when you intermittent fast how much energy that you gain. If you think about it like a car, in a car, we get our oil changed in our car so it can function better. So by intermittent fasting or doing a cleanse day, you're basically doing that with your body. You're giving your body like an oil change, getting rid of all those toxins, getting rid of all those extra, fat cells, and the toxins live in the fat cells. And I mean, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a scientist or anything, but what I've learned. And so it totally makes sense to do an intermittent fast cleansing day. And then just the energy that you gain, the brain fog goes away, you feel so much better. Yes, in the beginning, it is challenging because once again, mentally, you're thinking like, oh my God, I'm not eating very much food, and then your body's not used to it. But once again, your body really does not need that much food to function off of if you're fueling it with the right vitamins and minerals. So that's another practice that slowly got incorporated into my nutrition, is doing intermittent fasting. Some days are better than other days when I do that. Another big thing that I've realized is my hormone cycle, is that, when you're like, and I'm not even quite sure which phase it is in your cycle, but if you start kind of keeping track of your moods, those are the times that you don't want to do cleanse days, because they're not going to be successful because of your hormones and your mood and your cravings and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, another thing too through nutritional journey is you're going to start realizing the people around you who will kind of, it starts to bring up things in other people when they see you kind of changing up your diet. It's amazing how like food can be the center of like even social events, and like people can like, why aren't you eating that? And it's like, why do you care? But people do it. So through my journey, it was challenging because people would like make fun of me, and all that. And so that's once again where it's important to have that support team, because they're going to help guide you and be like, Trisha, like you have to realize like this is your journey, no one else's journey. And it's really about you and your happiness. And yeah. So through your journey of getting in good nutrition, it can be hard depending on how you were raised and what kind of food was brought into your life. That is a big component of that too, and that breaking through some of those old habits that we had like our whole life. cereal and, you know, Debbie snacks. Like that's what I remember. Cereal, Debbie snacks. Yes, we always had like the meat, vegetable, and potato or something. But you know, candy and all of that jazz. And once again, no good or no bad food. Not that you can't ever have candy and all that stuff, but through your journey, people will say some comments that can be really rude and hurtful, and you have to realize that truly deep inside, they don't mean it. It's just that it's stirring up stuff within themselves. Yeah, so it's not about you. So once again, through your journey, realize that people's comments and people's stuff is not about you. It is about their own stuff. And it can be hard in the beginning because you're more vulnerable and you're just working on yourself, and it can be challenging. But once again, you have that support group there that you can go to, and they're like, girl, push it aside, keep going, you got this. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of any other nutritional things. So I really wanted to do this in a series. So next Monday, I'm going to be hopping on and talking about the support group, because the support group is huge, and the support group you need in pretty much any component that you are working on in your life. But right now, really, taking care of yourself is important. That is one thing right now that we can control in our life with all the craziness going on. Is we can control taking care of ourselves, and really through us taking care of ourselves, we are going to handle the situation a lot better. I think through my journey, I'm just super grateful that I am where I am now, to be able to help other people through this time, because, you know, it's a lot of craziness going on. But really taking care of ourselves. So nutrition is one piece of starting to take care of yourself and love yourself. And it's so much more than the nutrition piece, which, you know, I'll get into with that, with the next series, the next video that I do. But it's so much more than nutrition. But nutrition was the start of my journey, and hopefully some of these pointers can kind of help you. Please reach out to me. I would love to help people hear their stories. And, you know, yeah. So thank you all for who tuned in this morning, and stay tuned in next Monday again. 7 a.m. seems to work best for me before I get the kids started with school and stuff. But tune in for the next series. Next week's series, we'll be talking about support group and kind of like personal growth and some things that you can do that will help you through your growth, and just some pointers that I started doing through my journey to help me. So I hope you all have a blessed Thursday. I like to call it Thankful Thursday, and you know, think of something that you're thankful for today. And yeah, so with love, Trisha, stay tuned. Next Monday, we'll be talking about support and personal growth. Bye.